Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you the books I plan on reading in December, also known as my December TBR. So I have some books that I'm really excited for, have been looking forward to, and some surprise drops by some of my favorite authors. So I'm actually really looking forward to this reading month because there are some books that I've been wanting to read for a while, like I said. Also, because I plan on taking the whole week off between Christmas and New Year's. I've sort of like 10 days off of work, and I'm just like, my birthday's in that week. It's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's. We have a 3-year-old. That means we're not doing anything crazy. So I think much reading. I'm anticipating a lot of reading in December, even though there's just a lot of like things that are going to have to happen around Christmas, but it's all good. So let's get into it, shall we? So the first book that I plan on reading in December, finishing in December, is Strong and Wild by Sloane St. James. This is book 2 in the Lakes Hockey series. This published June 26, 2023, and is 346 pages. So this book follows Reese and Freya. Now, Reese is on the same Lakes hockey team that Lonan from the first book is in, so they're teammates. And Freya is Birdie from the first book's best friend. So if you watch my November wrap up, you'll know that Before We Came is the first book in the series. And so we actually met Reese and Freya in in the first book. So this is their book. So this is an enemies to lovers hockey romance. And we open up this book with finding out Freya is, we knew she is a baker working in a bar, and she actually has the dream of opening up her own bakery. And Reese is a hockey player. I believe he's a defenseman, and he is very, very focused on hockey. So he can't seem to get away from Freya, however, so he does take an interest in her. And their story unfolds from there. So I'm pretty far into it, so that's all I'll say. But I do plan on finishing the book and sharing with you my thoughts in my December wrap-up. Okay? So then the next book that I plan on reading in December is The Devil by Jade. Now, I know what you're thinking. I said I would read this in October. I obviously did not read this in October. Ever since work got really busy, September, I think you'll probably be able to infer based on me saying this, but ever since work got busy, my reading my page count per day has gone way down. So there's just books that I prioritized over this, but I still want to read it. It's interesting. I have read a few chapters. It's MMF and there's a revenge plot. And it looks like it's also stepdaughter, stepdad, which, excuse me, I have a cough. Sometimes that leaves me with a little bit of an ick. So we'll see. I'm kind of not really sure, as I've just read the first couple of chapters. I'm not super sure how far I'll get, but the reviews and the people that love this book love it. And they are the twists and turns are just they just blindside you. So, that would be interesting. So I'll give this one a try. Is this one a lot of pages? I think this one might be kind of a high page count. So we'll see. But one thing I'll also say, let me say that I plan on reading The Devil's Advocate, which is book 2, because this is a duet. So The Devil and The Devil's Advocate are a duet. So I do plan on reading, wait, hold on. How many pages? Oh, not just kidding. 230 pages for The Devil, 326 pages for The Devil's Advocate. What is that 600 pages. I can do that. That's fine. Devil's Advocate by Jade is book 2. It's a conclusion. Apparently, like I said, there's a huge twist. So, okay, that should be totally doable. So let's talk about Jade for a second. So I actually haven't read a lot of her books. I've only read the words from her. And I thought it was okay. I liked it. I didn't love it. A lot of people freaking love that book. And I like getting tattoos inspired by that book. I'm not that girl. That's not me. Thank you. But this is one of the books in the series in her backlog that seems interesting to me. I do really want to read The Choice and the Consequence, and there's finally a pre-order date for The Consequence. A year after it was promised. Like, I know she's been going through it, and I'm super glad that it's coming because it's been a big old question mark. So I haven't read The Choice, but anyway, I do plan on reading The Devil and the Devil's Advocate. Okay, then next, I do plan on reading Mr. Big by Bella DiCorte, which is book 1 of the Mobsters of Vegas series. This book released today, November 30th, is 271 pages. That's a little short for her. Typically, she'll write a book above 300 pages. But this book was released as part of an anthology. So I think that was a little bit more of a novella length. So this is a novel length, like, expansion of the story. God, I don't even know how long that Mr. Big in that anthology was. It was pretty short, so I'm really excited. So I already know kind of what happens, but I'm excited to see the additional content. So the story features Leonora and Tullio. So Leonora is of Greek descendants. She is likened to Aphrodite by Tullio Bigatti, hence the name Mr. Big. He owns a a big deal casino hotel in Las Vegas and is part of the mob there. Obviously, considering this is the Mobsters of New York, or not New York, Mobsters of Vegas series, and it's a bit of a forced marriage story, not in a kind of typical sense, but it has to do with like her brother's in danger. She confronts him because she thinks that her brother is running drugs for Mr. Big. So there's like some miscommunication, and the result is that they end up getting married. So again, I'm excited for this story. I think it's going to be really interesting. I love Bella DiCorte's writing. The thing about her books is that each series has a pretty different tone. So you get a really different feel for each like setting. And I definitely got that out of this in the kind of novella entry of it. So I'm just really looking forward to it. Okay. So that's Mr. Big. Excuse me. Okay. So next we have a surprise drop, although it has been 3 years coming. But it's a surprise drop by Carian Cole. This is The Lovely Return. This was published November 29th, 2023. It's 503 pages. I've already downloaded it. I'm really excited. Her writing is amazing. I got through, God, what did I read first of hers? I don't remember what I read of hers that was first. Was it Lucas? In her Ashes and Ember series? I read Lucas first. I read that series out of order. Really, really liked it. I didn't read Talon because I wasn't super interested in apparently it was a little bit darker like BDSM, and I'm like, that's not my jam. But anyway, I'm really excited. So let's read the blurb, shall we? Okay. This follows Alex and Penny. So let's read the blurb. Okay. So what if death doesn't do you part? That's what it says in the book. Okay, they say be careful what you wish for, but on December 5th, Alex Fox makes a wish in the midst of a devastating tragedy. Little does he know that his wish will come true. 6 years after that fateful day, a little girl wanders into Alex's studio. With her quirky personality, endless questions, and adorable smile, Penny Rose becomes an enchanting yet bittersweet distraction. Penny Rose is an odd girl. At least, that's what her parents say. Penny herself doesn't feel particularly odd. She simply feels misplaced, as if somehow, in some way, she is living in the wrong place, in the wrong life. So let's skip forward. It says, let's see. She says, Penny's been head over heels for sexy brooding artist Alex Fox since she was 6 years old. But when her childhood dreams start resurfacing again, dreams of a life with Alex way before they ever met, she starts to think they're not dreams at all, they're memories. So this is God, how did she say it? It was kind of like not like a reincarnation book, but kind of along those lines. Um, really excited about it. Really excited for the way this author could really take this story. So, The Lovely Return by Carian Cole. I'm really excited about it. Okay. The next book I will read in December is The Stars Are on Our Side by Jennifer Hartmann. This published October 3rd, 2023 is 480 pages long. So this follows Tabitha and Gabe. So we met Tabitha it's not a series name, it's just a related book. So she was in she was in Still Beating. And then she was also in Lotus. And I read Lotus first, and then I finally finished Still Beating in November. And so this is Tabitha's story. So she is the only person kidnapped by the matchmaker to have been let go. She comes out of that, though, she comes out pregnant by the person that she was held captive with, Gabe. This is not Gabe. Hold on. Gabe is not the person who she was held captive with. He's the guy that she finds solace in now. So she's a single mother because her baby's father is a person that she was held captive with, and he died. So if you have read Still Beating, you know that. If you haven't read Still Beating, you should. So sorry. But I'm looking forward to it because she seems like a pretty tragic character. So I think this is going to be really interesting. Okay, the next book I will read in December is Jersey 6 by Jewel E. Ann. This published a special edition on July 28th, 2023. The original publication of Jersey 6 was June 13th, 2019. This special edition is 379 pages long. So I've started reading this, but I didn't finish it. So I think it's interesting so far, so I do want to finish it. This follows Jersey, who is basically somebody who's always been, like, she was in foster care. She was basically abandoned at the doorstep of a fire station when she was a baby, was in foster care, went through a bunch of crap, as one would imagine one does in foster care, is homeless. And so it opens up with, I can't remember his name, but there's somebody who is like a burn victim, doesn't remember who he is, has started getting like some memories, and stumbles into a boxing gym where he meets Jersey. And then they seem to form some sort of like friendship where like they're going to look out for one another. And then Jersey meets Ian, and he invites her to come on tour with him. I guess he's a musician, and offers her a job. So that's where I'm at. So, excuse me. I have a cough. I think I said that already. Okay. Apparently there's some secrets around how she has these foster parents that she loved very dearly, and they were killed. There's some secrets around that. So we're going to find that out. It's very interesting so far. Like, Julianne can really write a very, very complex heroine. Like, you don't always like them. She can make them sympathetic. So we'll see. I kind of think Jersey 6 is going to be one of those. Jersey 6 is named Jersey 6 because she was, found in New Jersey in like the 6th precinct of a fire station. So that's how she got her name. Okay, so then I'm going to read Jinxed by Emilia Finn. This is book 5 in the Lost Boys series. This book published November 10th, 2023, and is 298 pages. So this follows Drake, the detective, who we've met many, many times in the all of the series. I think almost all of the series in this town feature Drake somehow. And he's finally getting his book. We'll see if he actually deserves a book. So, I mean, if it's the Lost Boys book, and he's like, his character is definitely lost, like definitely deserves some sort of redemption arc. So this follows Drake and Rory. Apparently Rory is the one who's jinxed. Okay. Okay, here we go. Ready? This is Rory's blurb. Okay. Rory, they call me clumsy, jinxed, and when they're feeling a little dramatic, doomed. I'm the girl who minds her own business and still somehow ends up hanging off the side of a cliff with a busted leg and death stalking closer, all due to someone else's bad choices. But don't worry, I lived, obviously. 3 months after that unfortunate incident, I'm walking the streets of Copeland City and happen to witness a murder. Lucky me. Now the mafia are after me, and the only man who can keep me safe hasn't called in months. I jinxed myself when I said chivalry is dead. But unless Drake Banks brings me the skulls of my enemies like he promised, it might be me who ends up buried in a shallow grave. So this looks interesting. This could be one of the more interesting books in the series. So I do have to give it to this author. She does do, like, I have complained about the series by Emilia Finn before, where I'm like, what is the point? Why can't we get a new universe? Like, all our series are in the same universe. And I'm just kind of like, why does everybody in town need a book? Right? Excuse me. But it's fine. But the last book in this series, I cannot remember the name of that. It came out a while ago. Was it Crash and Burn? No, it was Jump. Hopefully this one follows suit. Okay, because the first couple of books, I was like, what is the point of this series? But I kept reading. So, okay. Okay, so then the next book that I'll read in December is My Darling Bride by Ilsa Madden-Mills. This book publishes December 5th, 2023. It's 327 pages. Let's read the blurb. Okay. In a sizzling romance that sparkles with wit and depth, two wounded souls meet by chance in the desert and agree to get married, and their lives will never be the same. On a normal day, Emmeline Darling isn't a car thief. She's just a simple girl who runs a bookstore and adores cats. But when she's stranded in the desert and needs to get away from her dangerous ex-boyfriend, she picks her only option, swiping the keys to a famous football player's Lamborghini and speeding away. Football star Graham Harlan is in chaos. First, he took a hit on the field that left him with a near-death experience, and now he's promised his brother he'll get married to secure the family inheritance. Trouble is, he isn't even seeing anyone. When a mystery woman steals his car With his usual stubbornness, he tracks her all the way to Manhattan and gives her an ultimatum. Marry me or I'll press charges. Her choice is obvious, only neither of them expect the sparks that ignite between them. As the end of their arrangement looms, will Graham take a chance on love or let his darling walk away forever? So I do like this author. I think she writes some good books. I think she has a good writing style. I mean, it's not great literature. It's not changing anybody's lives. I cried at Dear Ava, because that was tough, that book, just the content. But the last few books I've thought have been fun, so I'm excited to read this one, and this looks good. And you know what I'm excited for? This is not about a hockey player. Okay. By the way, I'm reading right now, this first book I talked about is a hockey book. So I'm doing it to myself. I'm doing it. I'm fine. Whatever. Okay. So then the next book that I will read in December is Among the Heather by Samantha Young. This is the Highland Series, Book 2, 343 pages, and it publishes December 5th, 2023. So I read the first book whenever it came out. God, I think it was like late winter, early spring of this year. So we've been waiting like 8 months for this book. I'm excited. So here's the blurb. He is a disgraced actor. She's the daughter of Hollywood royalty. Both are hiding in the Scottish Highlands, but despite their antagonistic attraction, they can't seem to hide from one another. So this book follows North Hunter and Aria Howard. So Aria, I think she runs this kind of secluded estate in the Highlands, and she's hiding from something. It wasn't in the first book that I read in the series. I wasn't sure what, but apparently she's hiding from something. And North is running from a scandal. And so he's trying, like, the purpose of this estate is that, like, rich and famous people can come there, kind of lay low and because it's so secluded. So, and they're like shielded from paparazzi. So that's Among the Heather. So then the next book that I'll read is Sable Peak by Devney Perry. This publishes December 7th, 2023. It is 347 pages and it's book 6 of the Eden's series. So this is Mateo's book, Mateo Eden. So we've met Mateo a lot in this book. He's the kind of like, what is it, the enigmatic brother? I think he like flies, does he fly firefighting airplanes or something like that? He does some sort of dangerous job and he'll be gone for a while. Vera Gallagher, this is Vera. Okay, let's read her blurb. Okay. Vera Gallagher is chasing constant. For 4 years, her life was anything but normal. And the years before that, she refuses to even remember. Dwelling on the past only hurts. Life is fragile, a lesson her mother taught her well. She's determined not to waste a moment of her newfound freedom. I think this is, I think we met her in the previous book, which I liked pretty well. I think that one was my favorite in the Eden series. I was getting this book and Chestnut Springs confused. Sorry, this series and Chestnut Springs series confused. The Elsie Silver series. Yeah, I'm hoping this one's good. Okay, so that's Vera and Mateo's story. Okay. All right, so P.S. You're Intolerable by Julia Wolf will be the next book that I'm reading. That's publishes December 14th, 2023. This is book 3 in the Harder They Fall series. There's no page count information on this book. So this is Elliot and Catherine's story. So Elliot we've met, and he's been in every single previous book. It was Dear Grumpy Boss and P.S. Your Inconvenient Wife. So this is P.S. You're Intolerable. So Elliot is broody, grumpy, super overprotective brother, work like workaholic. Seems like kind of a jerk. His friends love him, and his sister loves him, but he seems like he doesn't care if people care about him. And Catherine is his assistant. So Catherine falls pregnant. We don't know how, but he doesn't notice. So whatever blurb I've read, she's his assistant. They work really closely together. He doesn't know she's pregnant until it's like, you can't not know. And then apparently he takes some sort of like protective instinct on with her. And so then like the story is kind of like a single mother, grumpy boss kind of mashup of tropes. And so it unfolds from there. I'm looking forward to this story. I think Elliot would be like kind of an interesting, grumpy hero. It would be interesting to see the kind of author that Julia Wolf writes. Sorry, the kind of heroine that Julia Wolf writes for him. One of the things that I will say about this author is I really like her heroines. I have read a lot of her. I mean, God, at this point, it's like all of Savage U, Savage Academy, which is 2 books, and like 3 or 4 of her Rockstar books. And it's like, I think it's probably 20 of her books so far. And every single, God, I was like binging her backlog at some point. All the heroines are interesting. So I think she does that really well. So I'm excited for this. Okay. So then finally in December, this is a surprise drop, meaning I didn't know it was coming out. And this is Hans. This is book 4 in the Alliance series by S.J. Tilley. This publishes December 28th, 2023. So here's the thing. I found out this book was publishing. I found out this month that this book is publishing December 28th. So I'm considering this a late birthday present. So thank you, S.J. Tilley. I love you too, girl. Okay. This is going to be really interesting because Hans was, I think he was like a pseudo villain in one of the other books in this series. And then the conclusion of Dom, he was like a hero. So if you haven't read Dom, I'm giving something away and I'm sorry about that, but not really because you don't know what I mean. But it's going to be really interesting. So let's read the blurb, shall we? Cassie. So apparently it's Hans and Cassie. Okay. Cassie, how to make the handsome brooding man across the street notice me. Step 1. Deliver baked goods to his front porch, even though he never answers his door and always returns the containers when I'm not home. Step 2. Slowly lose my mind as a whole year passes without ever running into him, no matter how hard I try. Step 3. Step 3. Have my boudoir photos accidentally delivered to his mailbox instead of mine. Have him open the package, then have him storm into my home for the most panty-melting scolding of my life. Step 4. Still figuring out step 4. Okay, I'm super here for this already. Okay, Hans, I'm a dangerous man. A man who has spent the last 2 decades removing so many souls from this earth that it's a miracle my hands aren't permanently stained red. And I'm a man who belongs in the shadows. I certainly don't belong in my pretty little neighbor's bedroom when she's not home, touching her things and inhaling her scent. Okay, I shouldn't follow her, shouldn't watch her, because no number of cookies on my doorstep will change the fact that love isn't an option for me. The only option left for me is violence. Okay, hold on. That needs a drink. Okay. I'm still never going to tell you what I'm drinking in the koozie. Okay? You're not going to know. No. The thing about the koozie, it's like bottom heavy, so I always think there's more in here. There isn't. Okay. This series is bonkers. I love it. Nero was a 5-star read for me. I think I gave 4.5 stars to not Nero. King. I'm sorry. Nero was 4.5 stars. King was a 5-star read. I think I gave like 3.5 stars, 3 stars because I just couldn't deal with the heroine. She was like too like, oh. I really hope this heroine isn't like that because these heroines are bananas and they're crazy and they're dominant and I love them and they're amazing. So I'm excited. I really hope I can finish this before the end of the month so I can talk about it. So, we're going to end the month on a high note. I'm looking forward to it. And we're going to have Christmas and my birthday and then New Year's. And it's going to be a whole thing and a vibe and not book related, but hopefully in December, I'll be coming to you from the office painted with this color. So you'll be able to see the office and the way that I've redecorated it because we're getting all of our floors replaced in the next few weeks. And I got to paint that purple and gray. I don't know if you noticed, but it's like purple and gray because the 4 walls of that purple is too much. 2 walls is just right, apparently, but okay. I'm going to stop. So anyway, they're going to take the carpet out and I'm going to paint and then I'm going to let them keep going. Okay, good. So we got some work, some kid, some husband, some home renovations, some reading, some holidays, some birthday. It's going to be a vibe. That's December. That's what I'm reading. Thanks for watching my channel. Really appreciate you coming by. And as always, have a fabulous day.